Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wellwood Homes Master Builder YouTube channel. My name is Trevor and this is Andrew Wellwood. He's the founder of Wellwood Homes, and today we're going to be discussing some of the company values that Wellwood Homes holds dear and what sets them apart from their competition. So Andrew, first question is, why do you think your customers should know or find it valuable that you share your company values with them?
Well, I think they should know who they're hiring. If my values and the customer's values don't align, it's going to be a tricky build. They're going to understand why, or they're not going to understand why I'm doing certain aspects of the build and why I'm putting so much care and attention into some things and not into others. Yeah, if our, same things in life, if your values don't align, it's going to be an awkward conversation.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. People have to know why it's important that they have certain values and not other things. And it just makes things go a lot smoother when people understand your values. And also you can find out who your ideal and likely customer is if they align with your values, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a lot of shady people out there who do some shady stuff, and if it's right out front, what your expectations are for yourself and for the people on your job site, then they can rest assured that you're going to carry that quality forward.
Exactly.
So the next question I have is, why do you think it's important to have your employees understand what the company values are?
For exactly the same reason. I think the people that work for me know where we put our emphasis and where we put our importance. And if their values don't align, it's not going to be a good work environment for them. They're not going to feel appreciated. They're going to feel undervalued. They're going to feel that their skills and what they bring to the table aren't valued by myself. And that's not a good place for anyone to work. And that's not going to work out well for myself or the employees. And there are definitely companies out there that have different values that I do, and that would be a great fit for them. And that's where they should go.
Yeah, 100%. You got to have the right people on the right team.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I think it was Jim Collins in his book, Good to Great, where he talks about, the good to great companies that they looked at over a number of years. Yeah. The leaders who came in there, they got the right people on the bus, the wrong people off the bus, and then they figured out where to steer it after that. So it's all about having the right people on your team.
Exactly.
Right on. So the next question is, what is a non-negotiable value that you have about service?
About service. Customer service is a unique concept, and I know a lot of people and a lot of different books talk about what they value for it. Customer service is our greatest form of advertising for Wellwood. We're mostly a word of mouth business, besides my work with you, Trevor. Yeah. And customer service is the taste the customer has at the end of the job. Yeah. If you do an amazing build and the first 4 months and everything like that are great, and you have horrible service, that's all they're going to remember. Yeah. They're just going to remember you dropping the ball at the very end. We get a lot of repeat clients, we get a lot of word of mouth, and all that is based on service. So service for us is number one. When things slow down, people wish they'd done better customer service. Then, when things are booming, people don't have great customer service. And I think that's a really, really missed opportunity by a lot of builders. Is you want to have great customer service no matter who the customer is or what the economy is doing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because that is, today people expect a higher level of service than they did, even just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because people are understanding that it's not so much saving $1 or saving $1 on a job. It's more about, how did you make me feel when I received service from you? And am I going to return back? Studies have shown that 70 to 80% of people will pay more for better service.
Yes, great.
So so it makes sense for yourself to use customer service as a differentiating factor.
Yes.
So the next question we have for you is, what is one non-negotiable value that you have about timeliness, like being on time and finishing on time?
Timeliness. I thought you said timelines. I'm like, no, I don't have a value on timelines. On timeliness, that just sets the pace for how everything is. I find timeliness also shows respect to the person you're meeting with. If you're constantly late, it comes across that you don't put a value on that person and that person's time. So being on time is extremely important. It shows your respect to others. It shows your care and attention to the job and care and attention to the project that you're working on.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing that comes to mind thinking about timeliness is how you do one thing is how you do all things.
Yeah.
Right? It seems to be a good indication of how things are going to go. So when you're on time, when your guys are on time, when you show up on time, when you do what you say you're going to do, it just sets the tone for your builds.
Yes.
And customers know what they can expect from you. So if you are showing up on time, even to the first initial meeting that you have with a client, it just shows that for the rest of the job, they can expect the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
Finishing a build on time is a huge deal for everybody.
Yes.
Especially when you're moving in.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the next question we have is, what is one non-negotiable value that you have concerning teamwork?
Well, teamwork, here's a cheesy line, teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork for us isn't just our staff. Teamwork for us is getting the job done. So everybody's working to the same goal. If we're building a house, the goal is to get the house done. So it's not just how well my management team works or how well the framing company works. It's how well everyone works together. It's can the builder and can the plumber and the electrician work together to get the job done fast, right, and on budget. So it's how well they can work towards the end goal. And you know what? It might be a little bit more work for the HVAC guy to move his stack over for the plumber. But you know what? In the end, we're all working towards the same goal. We all want a really good product for the customer. We want it done on time. We want it done right. We want it done on budget. So it's how well everybody works. And that is the team. The team is everyone involved in the building process. It's not just Wellwood Master Builder. It's everybody involved in the process. And so that's a non-negotiable for me is I don't want people on my team that are looking for how fast I can get my job done.
Right.
With, screw everybody else. Yeah. How fast can I get in, get my job done, and get out? And if it makes more work for somebody else, you know what? That is more work for somebody else, not me, and I don't care. Those people that's a non-negotiable for me. I don't want you on my team. You might be amazing at your job, but your job isn't just electrical. Your job is getting the house complete, working with us. That's a non-negotiable for me. I don't want someone that isn't willing to work with other trades.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Yeah. And another factor on that just comes to mind, having the right customer on board, making sure they're on the team as well, and they're in step with what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
Too, right? So coming to the job site or scheduling time to come to the job site and look when it's safe. Yes. Not just showing up out of the blue and saying, oh hey, I wanted to walk through today with flip flops and no hard hat on.
Yeah.
You got to have the right people on the boat on that sense as well. Having that common understanding that hey, we want you to come to the site, no problem, but we want you to be safe first.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. What is let's see. The next question we have here is, how important is integrity to you in relation to your business?
It's extremely important. Integrity is everything. Like integrity is, how you carry yourself. What the job site looks like, how you deal with customers, how you deal with trades, how you deal with employees, how you deal with the city and inspectors, and how you deal with neighbors, how you deal with everything. It shows how plays towards your integrity, and that's who you are. That's who you are as a person. That's who you are as a business. That's everything. So how important is it? It's extremely important. It's like the number one thing for us. Yeah.
Now I have a question for you about safety. Like, what is the priority that you have on safety? How is that brought forth in your jobs and what you do?
Well, safety's been pushed by the industry extremely hard over the last few years. OH&S inspectors, I know that they've hired on a lot more. When I first started out, I would see an inspector every 3 years, maybe. I think I've seen one 25 times this year, and we're only halfway through the year. So,
all right.
So they're out a lot more, but whether they are or not, safety, like everybody wants to go home at the end of the day safe. They want to be able to hang out with their family. They want to be able to enjoy weekends. Everybody wants to go home safe. Does it slow down production on the job? Maybe a little bit, but that's the cost of doing business. Does it take you a little bit longer to fill out safety reports at the start of the day than not doing a safety report? Absolutely. Do I care? No, not really. Fill out your safety reports. Are you a roofer? Are you a little bit slower wearing a harness? Maybe. You know what? Suck it up and learn how to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm on a roof all the time. I wear a harness all the time. Mm-hmm. And you just learn to work around it, Yeah. You can't tell me wearing safety glasses versus not wearing safety glasses slows you down. I don't buy it. Tough.
Yeah, you just wear it.
You know what? Safety's there for a reason. And we like to adopt the common sense policy when it comes to safety.
Yeah.
If someone's working above you, you better have your hard hat on, Are you working on the roof? You probably don't need your hard hat. And most OH&S officers are common sense with that too. Like if you've got your hard hat hooked on the top of the ladder so that when you're climbing off the roof, it's right there for you to put on, that's the common sense approach, and that's the kind of approach that I like to go with when it comes to safety. I've seen a lot of people go the other way where they're up on that roof and they've got a hard hat and safety glasses and a reflective vest and steel toes and not tied off, and they've got 4 out of 5, but buddy, the one you're missing is really the one you should have. So
I've got my PPE on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping to maybe if I fall, I'll go head first and the hard hat will help me, and then the reflective vest, the hearse will be able to see me from a mile away. Oh, there he is. He's the reflective guy with his vest stuck in the ground and his feet flipping around in the air. So safety is very important to us. We don't want to get shut down for safety. We don't want to lose anyone on site, and we want everyone in every trade to go home at the end of the day safe to their families. So that's our goal for safety.
Now, I know this other thing that I'm going to bring up is very important to you as well, because it shows to your personality and how you operate. Cleanliness on the site. Like, how important is that to you, and why is that a value that you guys hold so closely?
Well, cleanliness is right in there with safety. You need to have safe access if, heaven forbid, there's an accident on your site. You need to have the ability for EMS to bring a stretcher onto site. They don't want to be tiptoeing over garbage. They don't want to be stepping on nails. They don't want to have to lift the stretcher up 4 feet onto the deck and then climb themselves up onto it. They want to have a ramp. They want to, with safety stuff, like the inspectors need this to be able to safely go into the site. Your customers need it to safely go onto the site. Even if it's a spec house, a realtor wants to bring someone through to take a look on the site, a realtor should be able to bring someone through your site safely without you having to show up 15 minutes prior to do an emergency clean. Messy sites, things get lost, things get broken. It costs more for material because people just aren't using what's there. It's getting wasted. It's getting stepped on. Like if it's a good piece of lumber, pick it up. If it's a bad piece of lumber, throw it in the garbage.
Yeah,
it's got somewhere to go. So everywhere has a place, and there's a place for everything. So do that, and it speaks with your integrity for infills. Most of our work is infills. Neighbors don't want a messy construction site next to them. They're already having a hard enough time with going from a nice quiet neighborhood to hearing generators and compressors and saws and tile saws and grinders and roofers and heavy trucks and concrete pumps. Like they're already going from that. The last thing they need is a messy construction site. You're going to start getting complaints. You're not going to be favorable within the neighborhood, and unfortunately that attitude gets passed on to your client. Your client moves in and the neighbors already hate them. They've never met them, but they hate them because they were the ones with that messy site that just caused so much garbage.
Yeah, so ruined my magnolias.
Yeah, exactly. It's an eyesore for me.
Yeah. Next thing on the list that I've got is, why is it important to have a positive attitude in your company?
Well, I think a positive attitude transfers through to a positive work environment. I spend a lot of time, at work. So does everybody else. Why you wouldn't want to enjoy being around the people that you work with and having a positive environment, I don't know. I would hate to wake up every day and go somewhere that I hated to be. That was a negative environment. I've worked next to those sites where all you hear is yelling and swearing, and they're just swearing at each other. And we get those people, they come over, oh, are you guys hiring? I'm like, not a chance.
Nope.
We could be desperate for work. I'm not hiring you. It ruins the environments. Like, I like the people that I work with. The people that I work with enjoy coming to work. And I know that shows because our employee retention is great. We have people that stay with us for years that love doing it.
That's great. And that's an important thing for anyone looking to hire Wellwood Homes is longevity of staff. Like, they've got people who've been there for a number of years and are growing up within the company, and they are adopting the same principles and values that Andrew has used to create his company and make it successful. So you have a lot of people. It's not a big turnover, so you're getting professionals coming into your site.
And that's the same for the clients. I don't want a client to pull up on the site and look out their window and go, oh man, Andrew and all his guys are here. Maybe we should just wait for them to leave before we walk in. I want them to show up and go, oh look, there's 4 guys on site. We only brought 1 coffee. Like that's the kind. I want them to feel comfortable showing up on site when there are 4 or 5 guys, because it is a safe, clean, and inviting environment for a client to come into.
Excellent. So. Now, what are your thoughts, or how do you deliver value to your customers?
Through our knowledge, through our knowledge and our ability to work with the customers. That's how we deliver value to them. So we'll meet with them. We'll answer any questions they've got. We'll walk through and explain everything we've got on the site. If we're just hired as framing, we'll give our feedback on what we think should be done on the site. But basically, our knowledge of the industry. We're there to meet with clients. We're there to answer every single question that they have. Why is this done this way? Why is this done this way? Like, we encourage the questions so that at the end of the day, the customer knows exactly what's going on in their house, exactly why everything was done the way it was done, and they know they're getting a finished product. They're not worried about what's behind the walls. Like, I saw all this plumbing and this electrical, but I have no idea what it is, why it was there. Like, we want them to be informed and knowledgeable at the end of the build. So
they know they've got a good quality product.
So when they can take pride in it, when they're showing the finished product off to their house, when they're showing their finished house off to their friends and family, they can say, oh, this is done this way, and this wall was built like this for this reason, and we've got electrical here, and this is my mechanical room, and this and this and this and this and this, and they can go through and they can show with pride, where they're living and what they built. So
awesome. Now, do you invest into the development of yourself and team as far as educating yourself on the latest building trends and codes and things like that?
Codes are always changing, so I'm keeping up with the codes. I'm going to all the meetings. There's a new code coming out, and they're revealing it and actually in the next couple of weeks, and so I'm going to that so that I can get brought up to speed on all the new building codes. We keep up to date with the fire codes and talking with all the city inspectors. For my team, we're constantly upgrading for all of our safety stuff, training for telehandler safety and all the different safety stuff coming up, and then for apprenticing, anyone that wants to go through for apprenticing, we're definitely on board for that. And any management courses that they feel they would benefit from.
Excellent. Now, last question, I think this is the most important question. Why do you care so much about your business, your team, and your customers?
I feel it's an extension of myself. It's an extension of myself and my values. So it's not just a business for me. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. So it's a part of me. It's a passion for me, and I feel that it reflects on myself personally. So. Cool. An unhappy client, I feel, reflects on me. Anyone that's, the product, the house, I stand behind it. It's a reflection of me, so I want someone to be happy with it and built well, and everyone happy with the end result and the process. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for answering all those questions. That was very informative, and I think that people will appreciate learning more about Wellwood Homes and what your values are and why they're so important.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to build a home, or if you're wanting to learn how to become a home builder, Andrew will definitely walk you through the process and help guide you on that pathway to building your own revenue property, or your forever home. If you're wanting to manage that build yourself, he can help you along that pathway. Again, if you like what you heard in this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and call Andrew for a quotation, and we can help you get started on building that next home.
Yes.
Bye.